Evening. It is almost weekend and I want to have a break with all the Python and GTK, and one of the things is the side projects. Can you call it a side project, spin-off? If you have the knowledge of using Calamares, and Calamares is a, let's call it a Swiss knife to put a Linux system on your hardware, then you can build anything, right? ALCI, Ariser, ArcoLinux, Carly, Garuda, EndeavourOS. We all use Calamares installer. This is the ISO that just updated and used the Fluent icon theme, and we're gonna make a new ISO. So the ALCI project, Ctrl-G is easier. ALCI, let's see what we get. We just type it up there. Thanks, but later. ALCI artist profile, SoundCloud. Look at that, right? ALCI minimal mix, this all me. Of course it isn't. So I've chosen a name, right? ArcoLinux customizer installer, Calamares installer. So that's it. So you need to add Linux to it, and there's a lot of videos already. But the last ISO that I've made might be some time ago. Voila. So let's try to do a more like a monthly basis, maybe twice, once every other month, right? Anyway, and there is something to do. I think there is something to do. First of all, let's have a look at the versions of Calamares itself. So everything is online. All the tutorials are online. If you want to create ALCI, like for instance, ArcoLinux has been created with ALCI, and a few others. Doesn't matter, right? It's here. The explanations are here, and together with the Carly ISO, so ArcoLinuxISO.com explanations, you're probably gonna figure out, oh, that's how you make an ISO. Let's have a look at the Calamares. Where are you? So there is the ALCI here. ALCI Calamares. So all kinds of the configs. Maybe we can get rid of one config actually. That's this one. And in the drop down today you can choose ButterFS, XFS and all that. So there's no need to have that anymore. And for the rest it's choosing desktops and kernels, and Linux LTS and the XenMod Edge, the Zen, the hardened is here, and the normal Linux kernel, of course. And here's hardened, LTS, pure, XenMod, Zen choices. The ALCI package build is here, so everything is online. So what you see is just git clone, and you have it as well. And here we have the configurations. Calamares itself. Calamares. Okay, right? The ones who are already part of the community, github.com/Calamares. Type it twice and you've got squid. Calamares is squid. In Spanish anyway. So voila. So become part of this. Sign up, sign in. Down here there are other things. Here Calamares KDE, right? And start reading. So getting Calamares, that's basically what you should do. Ctrl-C and put it on your documents. For example, Calamares, right? So basically open a terminal, Ctrl-Shift-V, enter. Then you have this, and from time to time you do a git pull. Boom, right? And I say, oh my god, we're missing out. A lot of code has been changed since last time. A lot of versions have emerged since last time. 56, 57, 58, 58.1.2. So we are a bit behind. Does it matter? Not really. Not really, right? The Calamares of a few months ago worked just fine. It's just that there are new changes, bug fixes, and all that kind of thing. And all these files changed of content. This is not important in the sense that it's all languages. So here, no, not here yet, still languages, right? So for us developers, fine. It's great that it's changed, but it's not important for us. What's important is the source here, the file source, branding, Calamares, lib, the library Calamares. This again becomes too technical, right? Not so interesting for us again. But anything that has a configuration, so the YAML kind of stuff and conf things, these are things we should watch out for. 16 changes, something plus and something minus. So a lot of added, but here is a little bit added and a little bit deleted, right? That's a bit how you should read it. So you go over it. How can you do it as well? If I have time or you're waiting for a build, what you do, you open this GitHub. And I understand you can't read all of this, but just read the titles here. Just click down here, the spinner, support, okay, Calamares. Read the text, add debugging after calling result. And gradually, right, more and more stuff will stick to your brain paths, and you will understand. Okay, see some names here: Debian 11, OpenSUSE, Tumbleweed. So it's all coming in, right? You know now, there's support for these guys. Yes, just by clicking a few things and reading the text gives you info. So basically this video is for more the ISO builders, right? The graduates who know how to maintain a system already and now want to make their own ISO distribution, or just for fun, for mom and dad, right? It's okay. Now that's that. We should have kept it open. So keep track of things, basically. That's what we're asking here, and we'll have to compare later. First, we're gonna build Calamares. Where are you again? There's just too much stuff in here. Just too much stuff. ALCI package builds, Calamares. Creating a Calamares is super easy. Click, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Then the internet. We're at 3259. 3259. We are at 3259. One change, second change, package build, 3259. And number 1. So this is your number. This can be any number, right? This is your number. So this is the first time I build it. Next time it will be number 2, and next time number 3. Simple. It's your number. Nobody cares. And this is Philip Miller. Welcome him. He's from Manjaro. And then we make it. We make the package. Normally a package build is made, but here I have a build Calamares which says, hey, that's where should it go to? That's the destination. Put it there in the repo. So destiny, etc. Search, give me ALCI Calamares, and it's gonna go and build everything. So make package, right? But first update the package sums. So Chinese, right? Here it is. Read. Q. Man, make package. Chinese. Read. Stop. And then we run it. Well, it's just an expression of ours. If something is gibberish, then we call it's Chinese for us. In Belgium anyway. So we build Calamares. First he's gonna get the zip file. Then he's gonna make these lines here. Oh, not that one. Package build is here. He's gonna change all these lines with the update package sums. And off it goes. Building Calamares. Now let's have a look around. I have the pedal kit. Okay, nothing changed, nothing major. We'll just do this. Now that's the advantage, of course, I have. Since I know this version is working, so the dev is for development. You test it out, nobody has it. It's just for you. It's not for your users. You test it, you burn it, you build it. Okay, it works. Then it goes to this one. But of course, I know already it's working. I've done dozens of installations. So that one -1. Did I change it like that? And the other one? I'm not sure. Same here. Package builds 591 save. So let's check. Thought so. So -1. This is my first build. Well, if later on I have a second build. That's the mistake of me, right? I've changed the folder mid-installation. Basically, learn from my mistakes. Don't. We have to build again. And if that's finished, we're gonna build the other one. So this one, that one, that one. I'm ready already. All right. So this is not the tiling window manager, so I'm right. Where is left WM? I have to tile myself. I'm ready. And the output has to go in ALCI, the repository. Where is the repository? ALCI repo, all explained how to create a repository and put everything online. In here, Ctrl+Shift+2, date modified, 56. And we wait till there's an extra line there. It's all about workflow, and that can differ from person to person. But the core is Calamares. We've had a lib, a boost lib update. That's already an important word. Boost-lib. If that comes in, you already have to be careful, right? Will Calamares still launch? Will the Calamares that I've built work with a new boost lib? That's something, an alarm should go off in your head. I believe that was no issue in this version, but it might. I'm waiting for this one to launch the other one, and now we're gonna have a look at the configurations. We may get rid of one of those configs, the ButterFS thingy. I really have to look again at all the files. And where is it now? Up here. So the dev version is finished. The next one can build as well. And off it goes. Let's go to, I don't know if we can. Not sure. This is not the tiling window manager, so I'm gonna make this smaller to be sure that I still look at that. That is ingenious. That's ingenious. Nice design. Can always enjoy the wall haven thanks to variety, right? Thanks to variety, I get stuff in for abstract, minimal space, sci-fi, and I don't have to look for wallpapers. It just surprise me, like this one. An Alt F, I've now saved it. F for favorite. It's now saved, and later on I can put it somewhere else, save on OneDrive, Dropbox, anywhere, Google Drive. So, Super Shift Enter, Control Shift 1, make it bigger. You see it, it's organized now on date modified, don't like that. Back to organizing on name. ALCI. We have to start somewhere. ALCI Calamares config dev, then maybe to this one, maybe to the others. And I want to get rid of one of them. How do we do that? We have the dev version, we have the etc. I like to keep things organized. This is your future etc. This is your future etc. So whatever I'm gonna package later on, it tells me already where it's gonna be. Sometimes people don't do that, and you see files. And this file goes very deep in the other one, and that one goes over there, and that one goes over there, and you can only see it in the package build. Here visually, you already know it's gonna be later on in the etc a folder called Calamares, and it will have a settings config and modules and branding. And that's much more like if it's a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 years ago, it's still clear where it's gonna end. etc Calamares. Let's have a look at the settings.conf. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do super F5. I'm gonna compare. Let's make this easy, like this maybe, and then you go up there, and you see my tiling experiences, right? And then documents, Calamares, and here is also a settings.conf. So now you have to do something in your brain. My brain is now organized that everything to the left is the original and everything to the right is mine. That's mine. So I can't make mistakes in the future because I'm overwriting my own stuff like that, right? So you know, this is mine, that's the original. Compare, go. I wanted to do a full screen, but that button doesn't work here, right? Now, the dummy things, it seems that we've deleted these, right? That's okay. Let them out, all with a hashtag. We don't need. Lux boot key, Lux open swap, Dracut and Plymouth is not for us. Well, the choice, Dracut is not for us, but Plymouth is a choice, right? I don't want it. Then the remove user seems to be not there. Look at that. Remove user is not in this list. I have to tell them. And then users, display manager and all that's the same. And here is Dracut again. And here's the packages file. So some of the these are modules, and some of the modules are definitely not in the list, I see. And others we have created ourselves, like these guys. But the rest is the same. Okay, that was not smart. We need it again. So that's the settings.conf modules. File comparison, source, QML, no, modules, yes. Bootloader, let's go for finished. Let's go follow this order. Finished, finish.conf, that's the original one, and that's mine. Compare. We told him restart now mode user unchecked. We said checked. So this button at the end, when you want to restart, that it's already active there. It's a choice and it's our choice. Init CPIO up over here. And then we go for one up. Init CPIO, this one, that one. So from time to time you have to spend, well, a few minutes, hours, I don't know, some time to check, hey, what changed here in the configurations. The package as such probably changed considerably, but what you want to know is there are some variables that changed. So pacman as backend would be better as dummy. Update database false. Update database true. All right. Updating databases can be dangerous. Internet problems, servers not responding, all kind of things. So that's the easy installation. ArcoLinux say, okay, let's just do like on the beach installation. There is no internet, there is nothing available, so it won't update. Here we update. Here we don't. This is ours, right? False. Basically, it will always work. And this is afterwards. So you install stuff, and here we tell them at a certain moment in time. If that was not clear, this is a time scale. You start with this, welcome, locale, keyboard, and it goes down the list. So during the installation, here is where the packages come in. After you got the services, systemd, the hardware clock, the display manager, so LightEM, SEDM, and so on. That's where it comes in. Now we're gonna break a little bit. Both of them have been built. Super Shift Enter. Let's get those elements online so that GitHub already knows there's new stuff. So number 1, so we can later on build. All right, I'm putting this on the second screen. Yeah, let's keep it open. So super F is not working here, Eric. Is this not left WM? Okay. So try to remove. That's an important tip here. Try remove. If you do remove and it fails, Calamares fails. If you say try remove, it is not that hard. I mean, if it fails, fine, it will just go on. So try remove, and there is also the remove. So reading all these readmes is important, right? Choosing the correct term, I think it's here. Remove, try remove will call the package manager to remove one or more packages. The remove target will abort the whole installation if package removal fails, while try remove carries on. Packages may be listed as localized names. So this is good. Here is just a list of all the possible things that we think can be removed, because these guys are all dependencies of Calamares. And Philip from Manjaro made the package build and told Calamares needs this and this and this and that. Later on, we're gonna try to remove it, but if we install Plasma, of course you can't remove it. Pacman will say, hey, whoa, whoa, Plasma framework is needed for this, and it will just skip it and leave it. So Plasma framework stays on Plasma. But if we install Mate, by Plasma framework, by KPM core, etc., right? So that's the things that we need for Calamares that we don't want that the user has in this installation. So if you say I want to have this and this and this and that on the live DVD, but I don't want the user to have it, then this is the place to be. Remove the packages, and it's very simple. It's the pacman logic, right? If you say remove and pacman says no because that package depends on it, voila, it stays. I see some spaces here. I see everything. And here another one. Save. All right. Packages. Partitioning. Watch out, Eric. This is mine. Okay. And that's from somebody else, right? This is the original partition.conf. Yes. Anything changed here? Here's where we make decisions. If you say, I don't want users to be working with, then you don't put all these things in there. And if you say X3 is old, we don't want users to use it, then you just delete it. Here we get the drop down with X4, X3, Btrfs, F2FS, JFS, RISE, XFS. Anything is possible. We have here a type number, but that's just a hashtag, right? But if you don't want to see it next time around, you just put it there and it's gone. And the blue things or the green things are the things I pay attention to. Save. Close it again. Okay. Preserve files. That's a new thing. The idea here is that if the user installs preserve files, if the user installs the system and everything was successful and you boot up again, then he has a file somewhere on your system. A file that you can ask for. You say, why don't you go to var log calamares log and give me that file, send me that file to me. Now I know why I made a typo. It's just here as well. Calamares. And the permissions are here root 644. I will have a look at the permissions I've made on ArcoLinux because I'm happy with those. I'm not sure I'm happy with these. So I'm gonna check ArcoLinux Excel. So if you want to compare what we do, just download it. It's there. It's online. We share all the knowledge. 644 is what we got there, and we're happy with it. So that's okay. Yes, okay, exactly the same thing. So the Calamares log that's normally in the /root.cache/Calamares, there is a log, is going to be moved to your var log Calamares log. The same with the installation JSON. That's actually the file where you've selected everything. Everything you clicked, I want that keyboard, I want this, I want that, I want that, right? That's that. And then this one is not used. nvidia.conf. Okay, nothing to do. It does say asterisk, so did I had a typo. All right, Control S. Saved. We got a new wallpaper in. I'm gonna trash it. Alt-T. Trashed. Better. Second screen. Remove user. Remove user. This is mine. That's the other one. Remove user. So the live user is used, but afterwards we want to get rid of him. And here comes another tip. Remove the user before you create the user. So Eric is going to make his installation, and if the live user exists, it has the number 1000. So first remove the live user, number 1000 is gone, and Eric is created with number 1000. If we do it vice versa, Eric with 1001, which gives problems with extra hard disks and because the name is maybe the same, but not the number. Your number is in other Linux systems, right, is 1000. The first user is always going to be 1000, but not if you remove the live user after creating Eric. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Yeah, you can give it live, you can call it Garuda, you can call it blah blah blah, right? It doesn't matter, right? But it needs to go afterwards. Shell process. Yeah, we can compare that, I think. Let's see. Not too much, but I suppose there is something we can compare. So shell is what it is, you think? So it's a kind of bash script shell thing that you say, okay, let's do this and that before or after. No, not the right button. Still on my left WM. So this is all hashtags. Click and read. This changed. Root is replaced by the root mount point of the target system from the point of view of the command when running the target system. Root slash, this slash one is root. User is replaced by live user. Set on the user page, no, not live user, Eric. Is replaced by the user name. And then you just read. If you run a script, it says here no timeout, but we've given it a timeout of 999. There were some users back in the 3-4 years ago, something like that. The script did not end or something. There is some kind of message that the scripts did not have enough time or they ended and stuff like that. We had 10 seconds. We thought that scripts on older machines would be done after 10 seconds, but nah, voila. So I could have taken 666 as well as a good number, but I've taken 999, right? I suppose by then any script you have will be finished, and these are your scripts. But as you see, here's an example. It is actually kind of bashy thing, right? Remove recursively on the root, so the future system, home user, config ALCI DWM, root etc sudoers d gwheel. So we're gonna remove things that we don't need after an installation, stuff that was necessary to boot up, but it's not necessary on a future system. Goes in here, shell process. And what's a good thing to have is a before shell process and an after shell process. So in the Calamares, again into the config file, you're gonna say where. In the beginning, maybe somewhere before shell process, and just before you unmount, just before you finish everything, you're gonna put the Calamares log away, and then maybe a shell process, some kind of shell process. You can see it in the files of ArcoLinux. How that's done. So we're good here. It seems I changed something here. Has an asterisk. Control Z. I have the text not out there. This one. Poof. And we close. Ja, allez. And you had to do it again. Next one. Unpack. Oops. Unpack FS. To unpack is exactly what you think. NFS is file system. So unpack your file system is important because it's there where you put the kernel. You would think, huh? Yeah. So all of this is the same, and these are just examples. We find ourselves the file system as FS, squash FS, destination, but that's an important line for all the ArcoLinux guys. We don't have a kernel. It's strange, but we need to move manually. Here's the kernel. Find run arch ISO, that's on the ISO, right? When you build it, it has this folder, run arch ISO, boot mnt, arch boot, etc. And put it in where it should be, the boot FM Linux. Okay, nothing to do here. New wallpaper. Okay. Hey. Users. Users, one up. You see how much time goes in all these things. If you want to do it good, you need to put time in it. RF kill. I'm not sure if this is still necessary. So I think it had to do with Bluetooth. So I'm gonna remove it. That's old. I think solution is done. What do we have here? Yeah. At some point in time, I talked to the guys on Calamares and said, look, ArcoLinux changed. They have now this all thing. So if you want to have this sudoers group configure with group and follow the Arch way of defining it, then you set it to true. So we've done that. We're following strict Arch layouts. I'm not too fond of passwords, so I would like to type Eric as password, and that's not possible, right? That's too easy. So I've hashtagged everything out, meaning if you put a hashtag in front of it, it will not be used. So allow passwords default false and true, read it, right? True to uncheck. You can control the initial state, checkbox, etc. And here is some blah blah. I have to watch out. Don't override things by accident, right? If this is all hashtagged out, there is one thing that changed, that's true. Here they've reorganized itself a little bit. Here we have user, and under user is the shell. So user shell is old, will still work. I think it's somewhere, I've read it somewhere that is backwards compatible, right? But this is the new code, user shell bin bash, which is actually what this is. And forbidden names root. So you can't call yourself root, obviously. So that's, again, to keep it dummy proof. Click. Some texts, forbidden names, list names, host names, text, read the new stuff. And here I don't really have any preference. This is exactly the same things. Okay. So this thing is the host name. Location etc file, we need to take that one, that's here. And template derp CPU, forbidden names, localhost. The idea is that you give the user a suggestion inside Calamares. I'm gonna call it ArcoLinux, right? Because our distro matters, right? Doesn't matter at all. But you want to give a name inside, instead of system product name, I think it's now, you'll get already a suggestion. How about this name? So the derp template CPU, you can use some of these variables. Personally, I'm all fine with this, but thank you very much. I don't want it. Forbidden names, localhost. Sure, of course. So, but now we're just saying to him whatever, right? This could be Carly, right? This could be ALCI. This could be ArcoLinux. This could be anything. What am I doing? Control Z. So this derp thing is text. Doesn't mean anything. Can be blah blah, right? Could be ALCI. Let's do it for the exercise. But CPU, why CPU? I don't know what kind of thing. CPU name. What will come in of it? I think Intel or something will come out. Whatever. How is that gonna be a nice name for the computer name? So if you want to try it, you need to put the hashtag away, and then you can choose first username, name, login, hardware product based on DMI data, product name. Basically, I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. Okay, save. So that's the things, if you are a developer, that's what you do, right? You change one variable, build the ISO, see what happens. And then the next time, another variable, see what happens. And that's how you know what is what. Welcome. There's also a welcome Q. If you're wondering, that's QML, so it's more design, but that's all. So show support, let's make this bigger. Show support URL, true, false, true, false. Show donator URL, false. Okay. Whoa. Note that the last 3 checks are for testing purposes only. Okay, that's why they're not in here. This can use a space. So basically we only check, do they have enough RAM? We don't check if they have enough storage. List conditions that must be satisfied from the list of conditions for the installations to proceed. If you say, it matters that there is enough storage, then you do so. I'm not sure if we have to, voila, required storage. If we say, look, any simple installation is at least gonna be, I don't know, put a figure on it, 8 gigabytes, 9, 10, that's the least amount of people should have, right? Or RAM in this case, then it's set. That's the storage. If you have lower than 5.5, which I don't know why they done that, right? So let's say we want to have 10 gigabytes. That's not much for a VirtualBox machine, eh? But that's the minimum. And the rest stays. And that's how you change some of these things. We're done, right? This is the only modules that we work. If you look at the Carly, if you look at ArcoLinux, if you look at EndeavourOS, if you look at Garuda, yes, they're all online, right? Compare, learn from code from others, and then you make your own decisions. I say, okay, I want to have this as well. Well, it looks nice. I want to implement it. And slowly but steadily, you try to add configurations to it, add to this one as well. And then there's the branding still to figure out. How will it look? What images will I use? What QML, QSS is style sheet, and QML will I use? And you can define all the colors. Take a look at EndeavourOS, take a look at Xero Linux. It's all design, right? It's all colorful and it's all done. Possible, it's online. Go check how they did it. And it's in the code. And see, well, I'm changing wallpapers at the same time here. And then make your own thing. Not that one. Go. Voila. Now the work starts. So this is still, well, let's call it fun. It's also work. Let's call it fun. Because now I have to do the following. This one should be compared with that one. Compare. Once you've made your decisions, it needs to go through all the other ones. A space, right? Should have kept the spaces. Save, partition. There was a stupid thing here. Which is now which? Def to the right is the new stuff. So I need to put from right to left. Preserve files. That was a typo. Calamares and Calamares. And not launching a new product. This is better left as same off. Now I know I still have 3 things to do. And you check yourself because, hey, we're humans. Yeah, let's save, but it's not done yet. Scroll down. What do we have here? We have here something that this one doesn't have. Remove root etc pacman-d GNU-pg. Remove it. Remove it. Well, that depends how I do it. That's something I need to check. I don't know a month ago what's in here, right? This one goes here. This is blah blah plus the user shell, forbidden names. Okay, check. That goes here. All of that is gone and replaced by that. This is the time to get typos out. Required storage ×2. Align. Storage is important. Voila, save. This shell process thing. So the GNU PG. Let's visit ALCI def and ALCI ISO. The tool melt, compare. Okay, why is this different? Because on this one we use DWM ALCI as session, so our own personalized desktop based on DWM, and this one is XFCE, so that's okay. These four are here, these four are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, pacman.conf. Here we're not using ArcoLinux repos. Here we are. That's the difference between these ISOs. Here we don't use multilib, and here we do. And here with some text for Cadoc EOR. Okay, we leave as is. Get nemesis on ALCI, ALCI, ALCI def. So there's a little script in there, so we can type get nemesis, and then we get a folder data, and we can run some scripts. These are all the differences. No network manager, yes a network manager, no Xorg, well with Xorg, so this is black. If you don't have Xorg, you are gonna end in something black. Base development is out, Linux headers is out, a lot of things are out. No XFCE, here we have XFCE, no middle list, here we have the middle list ArcoLinux. Choices. Choose the Lego pieces, that's that, and that's why this is interesting. The melt exercise shows the differences between ISO 1, ISO 2, and 5 more, right? I believe there are 7 ISOs in ALCI. Why are all different? Because we have different code. Okay, but I don't have the answer for my pacman thingy. Why is this even different? Oh yeah, little scripts. Interesting, guys. Sometimes we have old GitHubs, and the old GitHubs have the branch master, and when we create new guys, it's called main now. So in order for me to know what is what, I tell them, if you find the word main in git config, then you go git push origin main. And if you find the word master, then you do git push origin master. So that's a neat little trick, and I want to have that in the other one as well. So it's an if clause, if this then that kind of thing. Okay. So, and none the wiser. So arch ISO, etc. We have, or we do not have, the systemd, system, pacman-init.service. That's there. So the pacman-init.service initializes the pacman key, and it will populate it with the ArcoLinux keys. If there is more ArcoLinux, it gets in. If there are Celtics as well, it gets in. If there is Nemesis, it gets in. If there is Endeavor, it goes in as well, right? It populates just what it finds, what you provide. You don't have to tell anything, populate ArcoLinux or something. No, just populate. Now go to the folder, find whatever it finds, and load it. I'm thinking. Let me think even harder. So let's decide, right? So on this version, ALCI, it says remove etc pacman-d. This means it's at the end, right? Shell process is just before launching, and it's done to your system, to your future system. Now, if we remove this like that, there better be a pacman-init service that's going to type, say, pacman, what was it again? Pacman key init and then pacman populate and all that, right? It should be having that as pacman-init service. Now, do we? So I'm gonna go for same and look for etc system D. Here we are, system D, multi-user pacman. Here he is, pacman-init service, and it's pointing to this guy. So in this, if we keep this around, that's the question, right? If we keep this around, choices, after installation, then we can remove it. You boot up, the machine will do a pacman key init, which will create the etc pacman-d/gnu-pg folder and get everything in and populate the keys and all that. If we keep it, you can delete it. And if you don't keep the pacman-init service, you should not delete it. Am I thinking straight here? The question is which is best, and that's something you need to test always, right? At this point in time, the next ISOs of ArcoLinux, we got rid of it. So pacman-init service, it does not exist on the future system anymore. But for years, we've kept pacman-init around, so each time you boot up, everything is clean again, everything is initialized again, init, pacman key init, and then populated again. So it's a matter of choice. I suppose we could go for the ArcoLinux approach, because this one we've done this right for quite a while, this, right? But the pacman-init service stays on the ISO. It's just after. So it's always timing that is important. This thing, right? This is important. This is the live environment. You are welcomed and all that. So on that system, you need this and this and that. Calamares stuff, dependencies, fine. Afterwards, there is the reboot. And after the future, in the future system, you don't need this and this and that, nor that and that. So that's what we have in the shell process, where you're going to remove all kinds of things and say, whoa, we don't want that anymore. So, you know, all right, I've made my decision. Time-wise, I would like to have somewhere up here me creating the keys, the pacman key, the initializing, populating, do that over here, and removing the pacman down here somewhere. Or we can use this one. And then on the future system, so on the live ISO, you will have the pacman-init keys and the populate present. Then time elapses comes down here. From the future system, we're going to remove the pacman-init. But we need also to build it at some point. And then here we can remove the pacman-init service. Sounds about right. Okay, so time-wise, you have to. This is project management, right? First this, then that, then that, then that, and then you can have the result. Which means we have a long video to make. So, decision time. We are going to, this is the original Calamares stuff. This is, oops, my stuff. We have here Calamares. You're booting up. You have, join me in thinking, right? It is complex. This is the development version. We're going to try this first on the development version, always. You have a system D, you have a system. You're going to initialize the pacman-init service. So you're booting up, keys are initialized, fine. Then you go on. Calamares pops up. Okay, then what you do with Calamares? Calamares isodiff. Okay, you boot up. It's gonna follow the settings conf. At some point in time, it wants to run a shell process. But this one will be, I think we can, right? Which choices do I have? I can do it with this shell process. Sure. No problem. And then Control C, Control V, give it a general name, before shell process or something like that. So this is gonna come in the timeline before the shell process. And we can change the other one, shell process. I thought I saw something wrong there. Shell process rename. We have a before shell process, and then we go and call the other one final or something. Yeah? Final shell process. Now, if you do that, don't forget to change it. So final shell process, and now it's a matter of where. The best is that I look to ArcoLinux and see exactly where. I'm gonna rename this thing shell process final, and up here, not there yet. Control C. Seems I've done it before. Packages, shell process, had it before, or start or anything like that. Shall save. Now I have to go to this one as well. Close without saving. So shell process before. All right, let's make this a little bit like this. Now the thing is with these elements, it's a long list explained up here. You can make instances, I think they call it. Job module instance key can only appear in the exec phase, whereas a view module, and so on and so on. So you read the text up here, and we need to give it an ID. All right. So how was it again? So copy paste. Your best is maybe underneath here somewhere. And then we can get rid of these guys. No, that's not possible. Voila. The ID should be called, this should be shell process, that I know already. Shell process. And the config file, we know that as well. So shell process final. An ID. Quickly check it. Almost correct. So config shell process final. They called it .conf, not that it matters, I think, if we have a .conf or not. But what matters is this I've called final in ArcoLinux, save, shellprocess final.conf, right? And then better make it work straight away, right? But this is wrong. Shellprocess add final. So this refers and it goes up and it finds, okay, shellprocess final.conf, and it knows more what to do with it. It has been a while since I've read all the text, so you go read what exactly are the technical terms. So shellprocess add final, add before, and that looks good. And of course we need it before. And we've made it .conf. Maybe we can do a test and say, do we need the .conf? I don't think so. It's just a reference to the file. It's just for your information, right? That it's configuration file. Before.conf and then shellprocess final.conf. Let's see again. Like I said, once everything is working right, you don't touch it anymore, and then it's 4 years ago I made an instance. Final before, voila. So ID before is going to read this, shell process add before, shell process add final. Okay, final, shell process and final. And here it says everything should be right, no typos allowed. You know how important that is. Then I have to do something with it. Let me quickly roll over and check again here. Final, shell process before. No, okay, looking good. That's that. Now we have to, this is the shell process here. Don't like the coloring at all. Much better, right? And that's shell process for you. Same job, Perl. Now this of course we don't need, right? But there's no need to do it again and before. So you need to add a minus, strange but. Somewhere they say, here it is. But the command starts with a dash or minus or whatever. How would they say it in English, right? This thing, a minus. So examples, user bin, false, bin ls, etc. Okay. What I want to do is not remove anything. Let's see if that works. Pacman key init. Watch out, Eric. Right, like so. Pacman key populate. Will this work? I'm doing it differently. That's why I'm doing this. Otherwise it's the same as ArcoLinux. And I haven't learned anything. So you boot up. Pacman key is part of system D. It's gonna pacman-init everything and road. Then you go to Calamares, fine. And then it finds shell process before. It's going to launch pacman key init. Does he know where he should do that? So set to true to run in host, which means the live environment rather than target system. Don't root. So I think that's okay. And 999, the number of the beast, but then turn around. Why not? We can only try. Okay, pacman key init, pacman populate, anything else? What's in this pacman-init service? this. Yeah, that might be not a bad idea. Yeah, not a bad idea. To tell them, there it is. And they do say without this and hyphen here. Have I done that ever before in my system of address? Let's see, a minus or no minus? And that's where all the time goes in, right? Because all these things you need to test and check and do. Here I'm using scripts. So I say command and then run my script. And then I keep my scripts yeah, up to date. I can change the scripts as much as I like, because it's a command. And here I'm using this. And here it's a minus, so let's read again. Okay, I'm gonna put a minus because the error exit is ignored and the installation continues. We'll soon know. Simple as that. So Control S has been done already. Okay, so time-wise, we do hope that on the future system everything is there. Now in the shell process, I need them to tell that the system D thingy that I have, let's take the whole line, at the end we remove the pacman-init, remove etc system D system, and there are two of them, right? There are two of them. Now we need to go somewhere else. We need to go to ALCI def. Here, 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 here. And we have the system, the pacman-init.service that needs to go. So system D, system D, system, and then pacman-init.service. pacman-init.service. This one needs to go. Save. There's another one. Multi-user is also there. Here. So multi-user target once. Oh la la. So exactly the same line, not with the spaces behind it. V. Yeah, not with the spaces. And then the folder name. Folder name is this, multi-user target once. This is actually easier because people make typos, and copy paste should not be wrong, right? Save. So remove from etc system D multi-user targets in its service, and then remove this one. Is it important in sequence which one first? Don't think so, but I'm gonna do it like this. First the link and then the file. Save. All right. We'll see. It will either be rubbish or not. So that means if we boot up, we'll have a GNU PG and etc pacman.d GNU PG, because we did pacman-init in the shell process before, but it's not reloaded again. It's not pacman-init.service that's present. So when at boot time, there is nothing available. And that's exactly what it says here. at boot time, initialize pacman key one shot once. If you start with that, go and do one time this thing. And that's why sometimes when you update, he was still busy. He was still initializing and populating, and you were already trying to update, and you got this error keys not present or whatever. And that's it. That's the reason. So we're gonna remove this pacman initializing thing from the future system. Okay. That also means if you have installed an extra key from somebody else, it's still there. Otherwise it will be initialized. It's gone. As I understand it. Alright, wallpaper. Alt-T. Trash. Trash. No, that one. No, that one. Yes, I do want a trash. Voila. We're in space. Okay. A video of 1 hour, 11 minutes. But it's weekend. What else would I do? That's going online. Main thing is the pacman-init thingy. Voila, that's online, but it's not built. So we go to the build. We go to the builds, that one I guess, and then ALCI Calamares config dev, yeah, package builds. Oh no, we are already 6th of the month, so 2022 06, first time I built this thing. A save, that's it. And then you do make package. Voila. This is where everything is downloaded. Here is everything is ready. So this one. So now we're on the machine. etc Calamares branding modules settings. It's all there. Or shell process should be there. Shell process before, shell process final. It's looking good. It's here defined, there defined, and shell process final. There is a hyphen in the here, shellprocessfinal.com, shell process before the conf. No, I think it's okay. So we got ourselves something to get rid. Don't want that. I want this. Control X. Go to the repo. Go to the repo. Control V. Tell the repo to update. 1 git. Now I'm pushing to the GitHub, and that's why I sigh already a little bit. Right, and that's why I did Calamares earlier. It takes a while from time to time to get a hit, to get the new stuff in. So remember the name 04, it has to be 06. Before we go and change administratively all the changes through all the ISOs, we need to know first if this works. So we go to ALCI, we go to the ALCI ISO dev, and here is the installation script. Did anything change since last time? Oh yes. Arch ISO version 63. Sudo pacman-s arch ISO. What version do we have? 64. All right. So that means this is now built with 64.1. So this is the D package, right? Without arch ISO, we can't do squat, as I say. Close everything. Close everything. So before, well, we need some time for GitHub to react for the config that's there. We can always do that already. So that's one, and compare already. So the text is in here. Arch ISO MD 641. It's gonna be the same for everyone. That's already done. Yep. And that one, that one, and that one. (64-1). Click and click. It's also important to let you see the workflow, how to do it a little bit faster if you can, right? A few clicks less is a few clicks less. All right, let's build it. No. (64-1). All right, now we can build it. And first we're gonna check what comes in. Here he is. ALCI Calamares config dev 2206. Yes. Where's my Calamares? Stop. I will stop you if you don't have the new Calamares. Here he is. 59.1. And then you check the rest. We've kept Arch install on there. So Arch install, guys, look it up. I've made videos on ArcoLinux.com, I think. Yeah, ArcoLinux.com is where there's the script from ArcoLinux itself. Now, it's actually a bit pointless to have it because we're using Calamares. But it's coming from ArcoLinux. It's coming from the releng folder. We should definitely go there because we have the time, right? It's building. If you install ArchISO, you get a folder. You make copies of that folder. Why would I be making copies of a folder? Wrong folder. User, share. There are two things to go to. Either it's user lib or user share. 90% of the time, you're in those. So ArchISO 63.1. What I'm doing is the following. Open a folder as root. Typing the password. Oh, that was not correct. I hope that's correct. You may warn the system, right? Know what you do. All I want to do is Control-C, Control-V. That's all I want to do. And tell to the system, this one is version 64-1. And next month, 20 days, right? Next month, 1st of July, new ArchISO, new ArcoLinux ISO. And then you compare. Then you have two folders and you compare. What changed between these two? What did change? Compare. Don't look at what's the same. Look what's different. So they changed something in the profile. True. Whoops. We should have checked that, right? That's not okay. We should change that. But we have still time. We can build. We can build, right? Build, build, build. Here are some changes. So we definitely need to check our files again. It's too soon. We've built too soon. Okay. What I usually do is take a copy, Control-C, put it on my desktop, and voila. Just personal workflow. He might even say later on, I'm missing something. right? So probably they will. I believe I've done that. And then it'll complain, I'm missing some stuff. It's not what I wanted. I want super F5. So directory comparison. In here, configs, the only thing that interests me is the relang. That's new. Well, we should check that one as well. So relang, hub, relang. And from the other, we need Eric, ALCI, the def, arch ISO, here's profile, there is that, so that level. Compare. I'll see, it's at the, really at the end, it says, failure. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so that's our grub. We have our own file. Let's double check other. We're on ALCI ISO def, check. So this is how to boot up. Fine, grub. We're telling you arch, but we tell this. And we can tell so much more. We can choose themes and so on. All that seems to be exactly the same. It's closed. The GNU PG, gpg.conf, some key servers, that's still okay. Hooks for mirror list, worldwide mirror lists, that's good. Whole kit, no passwords. We're using SDM, so SDM, how to log in for that. Live user, XFCE. X resources, nobody interested in that. Azure C, only important. G will to be a user root, and then all good. This is new. Well, no, sorry, this is ours. Our decision to take a puzzle, a piece of the puzzle, the Lego block. I want Net Manager. Okay. Here's the pacman-init service. We keep the init service, but what changed? We changed some things in here. We don't want to have the GNU PG mount thing. We can put it in again. But now we have to delete that again, this line afterwards. So no, whatever, right? It's on the live environment anyway. It's on the live environment that this happens. After a while, in the live ISO in Calamares, we want to pacman-init and pacman-populate. Then at the very end, we're going to delete this thing, right? So, okay, it's really, that's what you need to do, right? Think about these things. Network manager here. Okay, network manager as well. Default target. I don't want to have a black screen. ArcoLinux ends in a black screen. Graphical target, please. Thank you very much. Use SDM. So this one, we removed that one. And I have it in pacman-init service. Again, of course. That was the link and this was the file. journald.conf, decisions of our own. Having group and G shadow. Make init, what's the difference here? So they want to have XZ and we want to have ZST D. So if you don't say anything here, it's all hashtag out, it's going to be this one. And how do I know that? I just do, I guess, because it's not set here in the text. Enfin, no. So if you want to really be sure to do this, we're using this one. Okay. Mod D is annoying. I just helped somebody on the forum. If you watch some videos and you boot up ArcoLinux ISO, you get all this text, right? This text. ArcoLinux, follow the installation guide, wiki, etc., etc. It's fine on LXDM. It's fine on SDM. It's fine on LI. But it's not fine on GDM. So the GNOME guys, they see this login and they see all kind of text, rubbish text. That's this. So the guys on GNOME, the guys with GDM as display manager, as login manager, they should delete it. Otherwise, it's really SUCKS. Okay. Pacman, more there's information for you guys. This is our Pacman configuration, our passwords, ALCI, already the error. Ooh, we don't have an error. I did get an error on my system. Here we're gonna say display manager check. What's all that again? I'm gonna remove some stuff. If pacman, then link, and we're gonna link the service. So if it finds the package SDM, it's gonna say create the display manager. All right. So if the package is installed, we're gonna activate the display manager. Wow. Use it if you want it. ALCI make a pure arch. If necessary, you can use this script too. Choose mirror. That's just from arch. Well, actually, we're back on the same, I see. Live CD. Aha, let's see what's new here. Some spaces. Don't tell me it's just for a space. Really? Right? Really? The rest is exactly the same? The rest is exactly the same. So click. Save. This one, sort key 2. Exactly the same. And a space. Click. Exactly the same. And something new. RAM speech. This is the system where we say we just follow ArcoLinux, right? This is the system where we don't make choices. We do make choices in ArcoLinux. Beep on, beep off, entirely up to you. I'm gonna put beep on. And we'll see later on. Oh my god, no. Grub, I'm grub CFG. I don't know why we don't have the error. Ah yeah, of course. So we're gonna follow exactly what ArcoLinux suggests. So that's over here. Let's get rid of that. Always do a view refresh, and then you know exactly you can. Whoop. We were at the bottom almost here, I guess, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, we skipped this one. So get Nemesis. Just a simple git clone. So if you have a GitHub somewhere, you want to have it on your system, your future system, and just type a command like git nemesis on ALCI, and it runs it. Just gonna update everything. It's gonna make a directory that does not exist. It's gonna go to the directory and git clone everything. Voila. Why not create it if it's on your own ISO? This is Linux, yeah. What's the difference here? No, we're gonna keep our cow space. Look it up. It means how much space I have in my live environment. If I want to experiment and I say, oh, a little update, okay, let's do this quick update, and then update Calamares or change the config and stuff like that. I need to have some space, like live environment hard disk space, and that's that. So 4 gigabytes, more than enough. We used to have 10. Oh, that's way too much. So cow space 4 will do it for you. And that's the only difference as I see it, unless no. So we're gonna keep this one. Our space is important. Oh, we forgot one. Packages. Ah yeah, there's a name change. Bind tools does not exist anymore. It's now bind. Boom, that's it. Be brain dead at that point. So this is pure Erlang stuff. So these are the packages that ArcoLinux decides. And then you keep going. I say, okay, maybe wouldn't it be nice if we had SDM, and wouldn't it be nice if we had bash completion? So we type something, tap, tap. If you have more than one operating system, we need OS prober, and so it goes on and on and on. And we'd like to have network manager, maybe something graphical. How about that? Xorg server, Xorg apps, NeoFetch, always nice. Scroll, scroll, scroll. No drivers. We're gonna keep off everything. Everything is pure. And on LightTM, no LightTM, no. So probably SDM, right? Or not, depends. Maybe we've missed it up there somewhere. SDM, right? Here it's mentioned as well, but for another reason, for a theme. This is just a category, right? Not the application. So we're gonna get XFCE, and that's all it takes to get the XFCE. Two words, well, maybe three. Hey, got the desktop. How easy is that? You got to admire ArcoLinux. Done. Save. We skipped, yeah, we wanted to go here. So the difference is that we say, let's get ArcoLinux in the repos for pacman. And maybe later on, it's a maybe, eh? These are hashtagged out. So they're not used. There are two pacmans. The pacman on which we build, that's this one. And there's the pacman for the user, that's this one. This is what he gets. The advantage is, if you have a project like ArcoLinux, it has 28 desktops, which means 28 Calamares configurations, which means one Calamares installer, one development Calamares installer, one comparison, and another one for Git, 4 Calamares. And they would be all in the system of the user, and it would see it and say sudo pacman-s calamares, right? But it's not the point. It's not meant to be installed on the system. So now, with a separate repo for the ISO, the user doesn't see it, and that's the difference between this guy and that guy. It's an idea. It's a way to work. If you're starting anyway, if you have ideas to start with a brand new distro of your own, maybe not a bad idea to keep things separate. That's what I need for the ISO, and that's what the user needs, because Calamares, they don't need it. You need it as a developer. And here it is, right? Why I'm not seeing the error? Because it's not pointing to the grub thingy. Boot modes. This UEFI grub.esp grub el torito is just click and it's in. And these are our things that we have different because we want to have a system. Well, our scripts need to be, that's the important tip. If you want to add scripts to your system, fine, but you need to tell them to make them executable. So 755 permissions, you go, user, group, others. Read, write, execute. Right? Read stands for 4, write for 2, execute 1. 4, 2, 1, 7. So this one says that the user can read, write, and execute. This one, 5, says that it can read, 4, and execute, 1. And the others can do the same. So that's how it works. In short, right? That was super short. Enfin, otherwise you Google a little bit. User permissions on Linux. Save. That's that. And then usually I refresh and I go over it again, but rather from top to bottom, from bottom to top. Maybe I missed something. Choice to keep the cow space. Our scripts, shadow, password, pacman.com from us. Let's see the difference again. Ah, yeah, that was the xset thingy. Shadow, group, login, journal D, pacman-init D. So that's our test, right? Display, maybe we can keep on working. And That's done. That's done. Let's clean up a little bit. Super F7. ALCI def. Let's get them to work. Choose a file. ALCI LTS. No. ALCI ISO def out. This one is from this day. Start. On the other screen, obviously. Come to here, otherwise they don't see anything. Voila. So yes, it says ArcoLinux, right? Duh. We're building an ArcoLinux ISO with SDM and with this and with that, but it's Arch. And it has a nice Calamares installer. Voila. Let's see if we have an installer. I totally forgot how. Oh, yeah, live user, that's correct. Let's see, where is it again? Settings, installer, Calamares. Where is it? Probably went over it. Here, install system. All right, we've got an issue. That's important, right? Fun. Sudo, or yeah, sudo is okay. Sudo Calamares. Ouch. Set my keyboard to Belgium. Sudo Calamares. What's going on with Calamares? XD runtime not set. Fatal, no sequence set. What? XDG runtime directory not set. Q standard paths. Static Calamares settings set on initial run file set. I have no clue. I have no clue. Calamares is installed. That's here. What would it need? File system. User. Bin. User bin. Calamares. And Calamares Polkit. It's all here. Control Shift C. Do we have internet? Of course not. That's already something. And then we go to sudo pacman-s Firefox. Yep, Internet Firefox. All right. Look at that. The text that we found comes exactly from the code. Okay, let's type it again. Calamares. Voila, this one. That's better. Yeah, it's this line, static Calamares. I'm gonna try this one. Anything else? Fatal. Forum Manjaro, troubleshoot Calamares installer. It's recent, 2020. Let's take a look anyway. No, nothing to do with it. Let's try this one and that one. Control Shift C. Stack Overflow. I'm gonna add Calamares to it. Calamares. Closing the issue. That's good. That might be solved. Somebody started Calamares on Manjaro. Queue standard path. And what are they saying? The service HTTP is not available anymore. You want to disable the connection to internet and try again. Oops. Normally it should not matter if that service is given or not. The service is not available anymore. You may want to disable the connection. Shouldn't crash. Shouldn't crash. There's a weird message. Yeah, I think it's the same, Adrian. It's a very weird question indeed. Message indeed. No, it shouldn't. 2019. Let's see. 2019 is too old. Did you see the name there, Philip? From Manjaro. And here we are on EndeavourOS. And bottom line, guys, is it's all Arch Linux, and we're all playing with the same Lego blocks. This is not helpful for us. This is with their choice of, but it has to do with something on internet. So it might be, this might be not a problem at all. It might be more this. Static Calamares, settings Calamares, set initial fatal, no sequence. No sequence set. Control Shift C. Don't forget to go to the source, github.com/calamares/calamares. Ouch. Voilà. Issues. Control V. Oh, sorry. I want to enter search. Nothing of consequence here, but is open, of course. No sequence set. No. How about this guy? Control V. That's a little bit more. Closed. Look at the date. 2021. Control Shift C. Bug. So here we are on Calamares. I'm on Manjaro. No, not helpful either. I don't think this is a problem, but this I haven't seen before. And I said something about the KDE stuff, the link, which I don't think that's a problem either, but Calamares. Sudo pacman -s sublime text. Yay, got it. ArcoLinux repos, right? ArcoLinux repos. I wanna see what is in the welcome, eh? Yeah, not mousepad, eh? Sublime text. And down here we have somewhere this thing. GUIP. Like I said, I don't think this is the reason at all. But since we don't have any other ideas, we try it anyway. Save. We are root already, that's why it flashes. Stop. No, I wouldn't think that was the reason either. And was there also an unfinished one? Don't think so. Simple thing. Sudo pacman -s rip grab. Voila. RG KDE. All hashtagged out. Because that was what they said somewhere. Let's see in the more recent. Last year. And here we have EOS, EndeavourOS. So this message seems to be popping up all over. Seems to be about mounting. So this is not the thing, right? This is not the issue. So what can it be? What can it be? And that's developing. What we're doing right now, that's the shit of developing. And it is like that. And you're there alone. You've got to figure out what is it wants, what is it needs. And here we have module descriptor, load modules. Why would it not work? What version of Calamares do I have? It is the new guy. -Q. Yeah, Q is enough. And then, is it Calamares or ALCI Calamares? Okay. ALCI Calamares def. Is it not 59? Is there anything wrong with the 59? Is there anything that changed? How about packages? Dependencies of Calamares. Did the dependencies of Calamares change in the last months? I can check that here. If I build Calamares, package build Calamares, voila. If I check between 59 and 56, I believe we had it. So from that one to that one, I'm comparing the package builds. Nothing changed. So it's not that it misses packages. Okay. It's not that it misses packages. What else can it be? pacman-q. There is the boost libs thing. And another thing we have to be aware of. That shouldn't be a problem right now. So that's not it. There's a bug right now that we don't see the letters on the keyboards. So that's not it. My ArcoLinux launches anyway. So ArcoLinux works and launches. Why doesn't this launch? Yeah, no, I had an idea, but yeah, it's silly. Eh? Thing is, what always you can do is switch Calamares and switch the config. No, we can't switch Calamares anymore because that's gone. But we can switch the config. Then we know it's the config that's a problem. Normally it says so. Eh? If there's a wrong config, then it really is going to say so. This is, wow, right? A mistake that says error fatal, no sequence set. And if I do -d, woohoo! We got a little bit more information. Let's read a little bit more. So debugging. He's using etc calamares.conf. Yeah. Error at line 116, column 1, end of map not found. Oopsie, I made a mistake somewhere. The ID is here. ID before. I made a mistake. Good thing that this is in the video, right? -d. Well, I've closed it, did I? Because I need to know, is the settings.conf? Yeah, only that one for now. So Calamares starts with this, then it's going to read this. So then in time wise, let's see what mistake I've made. What can be the reason? Now you're gonna say, oh Eric, what can be the reason is tabs and all that. So deleting, enter. Deleting, enter. Save. That's one. Gonna do nothing. Gonna keep that and see if it was that. This one or that one? That one. Okay. Line 116. Okay, so it's this one. That's wrong. Why would that be wrong? A space? No. ID before. Let's think. No, it's closed on my machine here. I had it open, so Sublime, he remembers what I had. And settings.conf, right. What's the difference between that one and that one? Before, yeah, all nice aligned. Module, yeah, shell config, yes. Shell process before config, yeah. Why? Oh, why? And there's a space, yeah, here's no space. There's a sequence, show, welcome, tracking. No problem. And it says line, bigger. YAML. So it can't understand it. 116 column 1, end of map not found. End of map not found. 116. End of map. Why don't you find the end of map? Another 16, column 1. This one. Enter. And let's do like this. Tab. Yeah. And delete, delete, delete. Tab. It is with tabs. I remember years ago I did the tab thingy. And where are we now? Line under 16. YAML. Column 1. End of map not found. etc calamares settings.conf. Maybe you're seeing it already. I'm not seeing it at all. Before, right? And then before shell process. Oh, wait. All the way up, all the way up. Yeah, no. I had to scroll up. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Was that here? Oh, yes. I needed this. Control C. All right, that's what we forgot. I have so many IDs on ArcoLinux. All the way up, it says instances. Otherwise, it has no clue what this is. Voila. So the debugging is more important than... Huh? All right. Next. Belgian. Next. Erase disk. Blah, blah, blah. Drop down. Choose whatever you want. Next. It's the pacman thing that we need to figure out. Huh? We're now in debugging mode, which means we have access to this. Ooh, my password. So now he gets it. You see these instances? You have this final, and it says summary, summary, umount, umount. But here we decide how to call it. Use shell process module. And the file is in before, the ID is before, and here the, well, the other one is, here, final. I'm curious to see if that's gonna work. And when is it going to be used? This is interesting, right? Follow it. In the beginning, follow it. Where are we now? Unpack.fs, the module Unpack.fs. And you can more or less, I do hope in the future they give it a little bit more appearance inside the code. Would be good for teaching anyway, that you see where a module starts and where a module ends, maybe also, right? But voila. There are no fonts of Verdana or Arial on this thing, right? It's pure Arch. So you see, it's not that one, and that's of course, yeah. After a while, you know, we've seen that before. That's not the reason. It has to be something else. We forgot the word instances. Here we are. Here we are removing stuff already. So we're already in packages, which means shell process has terminated already. Make init arch. So could not remove, Plasma framework could not remove. Here are the keys. It works. So shell process before initializes the keys, append keys, pacman populate, here's the line. And then here is initializing, voila. Cool. He's trying to remove whatever it can, right? K-crash, all K stuff from Plasma. We want to have XFC later on, so I don't need it. These are things from our project, ALCI. I just put the whole list in there, so we never have Calamares on any of our ISOs, so he tries to remove them. We can change that as well. It's, where would that be? In packages, So packages and instances is to do. So he tries to remove it 5 times. 1, 2, no, not 5 times. It's not here. Oh, yeah, here. 1, 2, 2. No. No, just once. And it's okay. There is a thing in Calamares that lets you try again. And you can say try 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, move on. Also with downloading. If the server is down, you know, try again. Okay, try again. And then say, okay, move on. It ends, so we better have a look. Okay. Pacman-init. Let's not forget why we're here. Pacman-init. So just the instances is still open. To change, boot existing OS, ArcoLinux. We've got SDM, we've got XFCE, and of course it's the default. We go here, we're gonna go to open folder, to file system, to etc, to system D, to system, and here should not be pacman-init. I don't see a pacman-init. Is there a pacman-init here? There is no pacman-init there, right? So that means if I do sudo pacman sudo systemctl status, for example, of p tap, there is no pacman-init whatsoever. Okay. How about me giving the content of etc pacman-d GNU-PG? Okay, it seems to be completed, so there is something there. Then I should be able to do sudo pacman-s yyuu. Alright, it's coming in. So now we know, we've tested that we can use this system, this way of working, through all the other 6 ISOs. So, during installation, pacman-init.service is there, the keys are loaded, everything is there, all happy. During the process of installing the operating system, we have a shell process that does exactly the pacman-init and the populate thing. On the future system, we get rid of systemd things, and everything works. That's always the thing, right? Afterwards, you need to be able to do your stuff. These guys are for the new QEMU support that they've done, and now we see that. I hope they get rid of it, or at least see something else. Let's clean up. Yep, let's clean up. We don't need this. And that's on my other end, I see. Other screen. Calamares does not need to be changed. Huh? It's not the problem of Calamares. Also a great tip. Sometimes you see developers put the application together with the configuration. I'm fine with that, you go ahead, right? I'm not doing it. The configuration is separately from the application, which means I don't need to build Calamares again. No need. What I do need to build is the configuration of this one. Oh, that's not build. First we have to edit it, and then we build it, right? ALCI, ALCI, Calamares, modules, stop, settings, Instances, we forgot the word instances. So it was up here somewhere. All right, that's what we forgot. Control C. And you can keep spaces in between them, doesn't matter, I think. But voilà, that's gonna work. We've tested exactly that code. But do remember that sometimes a space is not a space, and it all matters, the indentation, the tabs and all that. I remember having issues back in the beginning years ago. So be aware of tabs and all that. Save. That's the only thing we had to change, right? Knowing that, we better do everything in one go. This one needs to go, so I'm not going to put energy in that one. What did we change? Kernel Linux. Here's the kernel Linux hardened. Of course, we're going to keep that. Oops. Package.conf. Here's the def. Okay, the spaces. We have to do the spaces everywhere now. So this is the Linux hardened guy. We don't need the Linux. Well, it's a choice, right? You can keep the Linux and the Linux hardened, or say Linux by and it's only Linux hardened. So that's the choice here. Partition.conf, yeah, blah blah. Up, the same. Reserve files or typo, Calamares and Calamares. Okay. And we didn't look at the preserve files, but trust me, it's there. Ah yeah, that's new now, eh? Shell process, one to the left, one to the right, one to the left, and one to the right. Our old shell process is no longer existing. Is that smart, Eric? Shouldn't you look at it? Well, I should have. It's gone already. I don't think I have any differences there. But I think. So here we have the VM Linux, and here we have the hardened, right? That's always the difference between these guys. That one is hardened. This is done. It was for a Bluetooth bug some years ago. I assume it's gone. Forbidden all that. Template is changed. Exactly the same. And the most important thing, right, is later. 10 gigabyte, fine. An extra line. Storage is important. This is the most important line. Instances. We know again. Instances. Okay. Shell process before, shell process before, shell process final, shell process final. And sometimes you need to put things before something happens, right? Like remove user is before when you create the user. That's this module. And if you do it the other way around, because in the beginning, right, you're experimenting, you're changing the modules, the order of things, it starts with this and it goes down, and it matters where. I could have used shell process after preserve files, but this is just a copy paste of a file and another file. I mean, so it doesn't really matter, but sometimes it really does matter. That's what I want to stress. Change the order, see what happens. The readme is blah blah. Okay. Check again, refresh. This is because it's hardened, that I know already. This is because we got Linux to get out. And this is because we have hardened. Okay, done. Stop. This is the reference. Compare. So now we're having Linux LTS here, and here the Linux. Okay, so the middle will always refer to LTS. Some points. Here we try to remove SEDM, because I suppose there's something else, but this is called pure. And pure is the idea that's yours. You have an arch thing. It's black. Do your thing. So SEDM is gone. Bash completion is gone. Dex is gone. XOR kill is gone. We try to get rid of anything that's normally not on the ArcoLinux ISO. Then you can call it pure. Partition.conf, this is blah blah, and that is blah blah. Time 2 hours and 10 minutes. If you think that making your own distro is done in a few minutes, think something else. Here we can compare. There may have been some differences. That's a problem. Okay. So this code, Control A, Control C. Control A, Control V. That goes in here. So this is an extra cleanup stuff. ALCI make a pure arch. And then remove the file. I hope the others are not like that as well. Let's check later. So now shell process can go. Yes. And then that's okay, no difference now. Eh? Here it's LTS and here is VM Linux. Yeah, normal. Here the users, the RF kill is gone. There is not one moment where you can relax. Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. 10. Storage will be checked. If not enough, Calamares cannot launch. Shell process before, shell process final. Okay. And the README is that. Okay. So view refresh. This is because of kernels. This is because we want to clean. Clean. Kernels. Whoa. We forgot this. Yep. Check. Check. Voila. And that's why we do a refresh, right? Because we forget. We haven't seen it. Refresh. User is gone. Now, I did change here something. Right mouse click. Git ahead. So, no spaces, typo. This is shell process before, final, process.conf. Have these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lines. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lines. Did I not say? Should I recount? I better do. Where was it? $14, huh? Did I not say 15? $14. So what's different? I had a GNU PG thing. Nope. 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 That's good. That's good that it's gone. Because the GNU PG is the initializing thing. That's when you initialize and get the keys. And as you saw, there was no issue. Okay, we're safe. Okay, we're safe. We're safe. We can continue our work, which means I believe I did this one already. Okay, 3. And then we start here and these two guys, and then still one more. Although, did I not do pure already? Oh, my mistake. Melts. Yep. I did them already. The pure guy. Because he had this script to get things removed. So this one, that one, and that one. And then we're finished. Compare. Linux Xamnod and Zen. Okay, so remember, this is the Linux, that's Xamnod, and this is Zen. That will always be different. And the points. Once you do the points right, you have to do them everywhere. So in the Xamnod, we remove the Linux, and in the Zen, we keep the Linux. We remove the Linux as well, sorry. It's just this one. We can't remove it. Otherwise, we don't have a kernel anymore. Why did I do that? Right. Save, preserve files, the Calamares. Rather eat Calamares except from Calamares. So copy to the right, copy to the right, and copy to the right. Wow. Copy to the right. Is there something drastically different? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, huh? 1. 13. Okay. 13. Fine. How many lines? Right. $13, $14, $15. All right. I better check that out. How do we check that out? In here, etc, Calamares, alleles, that one, and that one. What's different? Okay, text, blah blah. Then that is super unimportant. What's this? Right, that's the pacman-init thing. That's why we have 15. Okay, have to be sure. So that's why we have 2 more lines, 13 and 15, because we are removing it. Basically, that's a good, so an okay for deletion. Xamnod is covered. Zen Calamares, because for me as well, right? It's been a while since I ever seen these files, so it's like being a noob, right? Check, read, compare. It can go. Now we can go back to our check. This one. Let's refresh. That one is because of the thing. This is because of the Linux kernels. Yep. And that's because of the Linux kernels. That's because of our fkill. Needs to go. Voilà. And down here we got this bunch of things. We just dump to the other side. And if you only have one ISO, yeah, then have a little bit less work. If you have 7 ISOs, a little bit more work. I was just thinking, 30, 73, 83 ISOs we have. 83, 38, I have to turn it around, of course. 38. Shell process, by and by. Now we're ready to rock and roll. Checking, refresh, unpack, kernel stuff, packages, again, kernel stuff, and in CPU, kernel stuff. Okay. All of this needs to be online. The ButterFS thingy, I don't know. If I type AG and then ALCI Calamares, Calamares dash config dash ButterFS, then the ISO pure uses it. You see, the ISO pure uses that one. Why? Yeah. Wait. Yeah. This is the script to get everything, to get all the GitHubs in. So. Is anybody using it? Man. Whoa. That's not helpful. Good. Desktop. Look at that. Bye. Paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. AG again. So. Not used. 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 I'm here. Scrolling. Not used. Not used. Not used. I'm now here. And not used. Yay! Bye. Cut. Back to Eric. Back to ALCI. Control V. So this one can go. And get all this one. We're not doing this one anymore. Nah, it's safe. It stays online, but we don't use it since ButterFS is just a choice and you just click and then select and done. Putting everything online. Push to all ALCI Calamares config kits looks like a good thing. Here it is. You can freeze the image online and that's the code. You go and have a look. Give me the list, everything that's called ALCI Calamares config and something. So the Zen, the hardened and all that. A little bit of counting, and then we're gonna add something, and here's the code for the new GitHub, the old GitHub, and now we push everything online. Okay. Number 4. Pacman-init, right? That's the most important thing. Pacman-init. Shell process before. Keep looking at the same code, similar code should go online. And referring to the shell process before, shell process final. And otherwise you forgot something. All online. Then we need to build it. Package build, ALCI package build. Okay, we've got our package builds. Build all ALCI Calamares config.sh. I'm gonna type in a package version. I'm gonna type in a release. If I say yes, then I'm gonna build things, go in there. So again, a list of directories. Change the version in the build, change the release in the build, and make it and move it to my destination, which is mentioned above, and remove some stuff. And go ahead again, right? So for name, for, and then done. That's the end. And we start with a fee, and the if and the fee, right? End with a fee. Okay. We already gave a number, right? So we need to up the number again. Number 1 and a B. Build all ALCI Calamares. Okay, stop. 2203. That's nice. But by June. 1 built. So now I just have to type what I read. 01, we've done that. 02 for all of them. Never ever use the number again. Up the number. Pacman does not like when you do that. Get only errors. And it doesn't cost you anything. Up the number. Remember my words. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Did we forget anything? Yes. We have that online, or don't we? Let's have a look. Where's the repo? Package build, repo. We have here 02. This one will never. I've built a ButterFS as well. I did. Delete. Delete. And the rest will be updated. Fine, that's good. Let's do that first because you know GitHub needs its time. Okay, you go there. What did we forget? We've built all the Calamares configurations. They're all the same, more or less. Right? What we haven't done yet is take a look at the differences between these guys. Compare. What we haven't done either is this grub. Sorry, wrong folder. Wrong folders indeed. This one, and that one. So these are all the Calamares stuff. Done that. This one is okay. I'm gonna keep that one. So now it's all the ISOs. So either we built one with this grub thing here, test out if it works. I probably will because ArcoLinux is there. Otherwise we couldn't have built it. So we can just go ahead and do it. Let's not make things too complex. 3 is sometimes super complex when doing things like that. So take 2. So why 2? XFC, DM, WM, ALCI. Okay, fine. Scroll, scroll. Just count to 4, 4. The names are probably the same, but check anyway, right? And then pacman.conf. We've done this exercise already. Except for, why is this different? The name. Okay. This one is new. To the left. This one was kind of spaces and sort key. And later on, you don't have to go in there anymore. Next time, I'll just know, copy to the left, copy to the left. We know it's spaces and a sort thing. So we don't need to open it. Yes, we're gonna beep. Allez. We'll see what it is. If it annoys us, kick it out again. Grub, copy to the left. And then we can move on here. Yeah, the bind and the bind tools, and all the rest is choosing your Lego pieces. Save. We've done that reasoning in other videos. And here's the new profile thing. So this thing goes hand in hand with the grub thing that you copy pasted. And then 30, yeah. We've changed the arch ISO number, and that's it. It just gives another color if the number is different, just to alert you, hey, think again, because there's a new arch ISO version. That you check the relang folder with the files, right? You need to be aware of the versions of arch ISO. What changed? Do we change with it? It's all about choices, making distros. You see me double checking. Depending on the hour, right? You might be triple checking. I was thinking, depending on the whiskey you have in your blood. Triple checking. Looks okay. All right, bye. So this one is good to go. That one to that one. Compare. Resolve, Linux hardened. Here we're gonna choose for plasma. All right, the hardened has plasma. It's all just a word. You've got plasma. But we don't have the repos and we don't have multilib choices. Get Nemesis on hardened. We're not gonna check this one anymore, right? This one, you know, the spaces, okay? Copy to the right, right. Header, loader, yeah, that was the beep. The beep, I'll do that also, copy to the right. This is copy to the right. Then we go down, we're thrown down. What was this again? Ooh, watch out, just don't copy, because it has Linux hardened here. Linux hardened here. And other differences, nope. Stop, stay off. Here VM Linux and here hardened. Stop, stay off. Packages, the bind we know already. Because it's another kernel, we need to go for DKMS, Arch Linux DKMS. Go read. We're not going to use Linux, but later on Linux hardened. This is okay, just the bind thing is important. Here we're making decision not to install ArcoLinux repo. Well, it is there, but it's not active. And we need the profile. Boom. .30, just the arch ISO. Stop. 40, arch ISO. Stop. The readme is blah blah. Yep. And the Git version 2. Let's use the smart thing. Normally we do a refresh. Plasma. ArcoLinux not installed, just the name. What was this again? The kernels are different. Kernels different, packages, pacman.conf. Yeah, okay. Go over in your mind, what was it again? If you don't know, open it. Compare. Resolve, Linux LTS. Ah, this is the LTS part, and we're going to install Mate. Go. Pacman.conf. What's the difference? There is no ArcoLinux repo. Get Nemesis. Ah, that's a copy paste. Copy to the right. Copy to the Eric. Did I make a mistake? Yep. This is the hardened bit, right? What was it? LTS. LTS bit. Ah, cha. Thanks to open with GitHub. This is my mistake. That's the correct code. Control C. Oh my god. Oh no. Up the other screen. RHI, so if you boot, yeah, EFI, FE, entries, this one. That's the code, used to be. This is number 2. This is the code that used to be. Save. This is number 3. Control C, Control V. It's all coming from here. I know, because number 4 was something new. True. Now I need to be able, I've closed it. Let's go back to comparing the def with the LTS. Sort key. That's it. On a space. Maybe it stops. Yeah, it stops when I keep on typing. Ah, yeah, that's why. LTS and LTS. All right. Number 2. Control C, Control V, space, and space. Yep, that's correct. Number 3, up, sort key 3, Control C, and Control V. So we've got our space and space. Ah, looking good, huh? All right, let's continue. Grub to the right and get Nemesis. So these were the things we messed up. This one we can mess up also. LTS. Stay away. And we have LTS, yeah. Packages is bind, stop. Again, DKMS, ArcoLinux DKMS read pacman.conf, no ArcoLinux repo, blah blah. Profile def, we got this new thing in. Save. 64, you know, nothing else. Huh? What was that? Nothing else. Always doubt yourself. Always think it's my mistake. That brings solutions. You see me go from bottom back to top. Huh? In the end, you get tired. So go back up. And the rest we know why. This one was not there. Okay, stop. Next one, pure. This one will be DWM ALCI. So we're going to use our own desktop actually. So it's a versional DWM. And it's still working for years already. We have here no ArcoLinux. Oh no, we want to be pure, but we do have a script. And here it goes wrong, probably. No, just the spaces. So we can do all that. If we do the spaces, you see what's happening. I can do this quicker, right? But just showing you, the only difference is a space. So if the only difference is a space, we don't need to enter here. Right, right, and copy to the right. Loader conf, beep, save. Our grub thingy. What do you know what we can do right already? And then we can save some time. Let's go down. In the meantime, our ISO, we can build this one, right? Then it's finished. We have something when our work is done. Okay, maybe wait till we are past. I do want to see the number here. ALCI Calamares dev. ALCI Calamares dev. ALCI Calamares config dev 02. Okay. And he's busy. He's busy. Go be busy. We'll be busy here. All right. So what was it we're gonna make? That one. Oh, let's go from the top, from bottom to the top already. So this one done. Save. README is just some text that's different. Ouch. It's a bit slow since my CPU is now used. Oh yeah, okay. Some files there. So 64. 64. We have the extra lines. pacman.conf. Blah blah. That's not there. The bind check. Bind is done. And all the rest is the same. So this bit up here, everything above comes from Arch ISO relaying folder. And all the rest is what you choose. View, refresh. I think we're through, but nevertheless, a few seconds more. Okay, ISO pure. So from here to here, we've done that. From here to there. Eric, you've done that. To here to there. Compare. Xenmod. Resolve. The differences are, of course, that here it is Xenmod edge. Huh. 4, you can count them. Difference is here, chaotic is enabled, the other one isn't. If I don't enable chaotic, I can't get the kernel, right? Okay, uno segundo. All right, where were we? Where were we? It's getting later. Yup, don't do, Eric, don't do. Because otherwise you'll have to do exactly the same as in the LTS. Spaces, all right. And sort key is number 1. So this is how it will sort itself, these lines in when you boot up. That's important. So this one is number 1, basically. Okay. All right. No mistakes. All right, then this is number 2. Save. This is number 3. That's the problem with what ifs, right? If you have a lot of what ifs, I have a lot of work. What if I created an ISO with Linux Xenmod Edge? And then you have to do all that. Yeah, we haven't been thinking about that. But here it says, of course, Linux. All right, number 4, we need to visit number 4. Now, only now I think about it. The dominoes are not falling that fast anymore. And they have to fall. But test it out and then you say, oh, line 4 is not working. Why is it not working? Because you don't have the kernel. You have Xenmod kernel normally. Yeah. That's it. This looks good, huh? Okay. Bind, check. Pacman, check. Profile F, all right, that one. 30, number 64. Git ignore, look at that. I didn't see that earlier on. What's in there? Working out. Not necessary. Delete. Readme. Some text. Okay. Refresh. View. What's this because of a kernel? Okay. Okay. These are kernels. Kernels. pacman.conf. Yeah. Okay. And then Zen. Let's be Zen about it. Compare. Now this of course is Zen. What is it? Cinnamon. Okay. Now I've chosen to install Cinnamon. pacman.conf without ArcoLinux repos. Here is Zen. Sort key. And then space, 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 and space. Cake. And then we save. And then let's go for the spaces. Number 2. Mommy, gotta do number 2. 3. It's getting later on the evening. And we're 2 hours 49 minutes in the video. Now you know the life of Eric. There's the life of Pi and there's the life of Eric. Yeah, being with a tiger in a boat. I would like to visit that special island. Although at night and if you haven't seen or read the book or the video, the movie, please do. Beautiful. The video, well, the movie. Haven't read the book. We are here. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Zen, zen, zen. That's the difference. Zen, zen, zen. And if I'm talking a bit less loud, right? Let's just say I apologize. And we are talking almost 3 hours. $64. Click save. We're almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Not a git ignore. All right. Git save. View. Refresh. Ah, missed it. Refresh. That's cinnamon. Pacman Nemesis. This is the difference between Zen, and that's all gonna be Zenny. Just checking the sort key. All right, okay. This guy is all about Zenny, and then the packages, pacman-init.service 64. Done that? Yep, done that. All right. So, what did we forget? Back to here. Back to here, back to here. Number 4 has been added, but melt is maybe the best way. Compare. Okay, so Linux. Yeah, that's the best way to compare. It's something for speech, for disability. My guess is that we need to go here, and then check. Compare. All right. Sure. We don't need to change the text that ArcoLinux gives. Or just keep everything as is. Arch ISO, FE boot, loader, entries, and compare. And now it matters. This would not have worked. Huh? Wait a moment. Hardened. What the F, right? Hardened. We just discover another mistake. Now we can do this the smart way or the highway. If we add harden to it, that would work. Plus sort key 01. I'm gonna put you here. Right. I think a size is in order, right? Open with Sublime Text. So Control V, oops. Hardened, yes, hardened. So the sort key is there. So the only thing I need to add is hardened. Let's compare hardened, yes. Control C. And it needs to end after that one and after this one. Init RAM file system Linux hardened.img. Okay, save. That's 4. That's 3. Now it can go faster. Save. Bye. And now this one, and then that one. Save. Bye. This. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? Close everything up. Close all files. Rip up. Open. So Linux hardened. Check. Linux hardened. Check. Linux hardened. Check. And this the guy was missing. Save. We discovered something. And while we're doing that, it will adjust itself again. It will tell what changed here. Should say what changed here. Why is it not saying what changed here? Linux hardened. Ah, the space. So Linux hardened, Linux hardened, Linux hardened, Linux hardened is a space, I guess. Okay. Wow. That one we catched. If we called that mistake. ArcHI, so EFI boot, loader, entries. Normally we do this, right? Compare. Okay, LTS. And what's this one? Should be also LTS. 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 Check. All right. So this was LTS, and then pure. It's not going to be an issue, but I do not trust myself anymore. Nor should you. Compare. That's the only way to know for sure. Move on. Pure Xenmod. Did I make a mistake? Well, number 4 has never been filled in, right? So it is a mistake for sure. So what I need to copy is a long bit of code. Xenmod H. Control C. Control V. There she is again. Control V. And we're gonna save this thing. Save. Yes. One moment. Let me pause. All right. What was I doing again, right? Back to editing. That was okay. Xenmod H. Okay. Then we are the last one, Zen, EFI, loader, entries, up, compare. So it's called Zen at the end. Zen. Yeah. And then we save it. All right. Wow. I think we've got it. Git pull all, push to all ALCIs. Oh yeah, just push everything up. Everything online. Just June release or something, right? June release. Bam. Everything goes online. Now let's have a look. Let's clean a little bit up. We have here Oracle. We have the dev. It's open. It's the same day, so it's the same ISO. But now Calamares should run, because our instance. So never forget. And now 5 years later, you've forgotten it. right. Next, Brussels. So it's not about GeoIP, right? It was never about that. It's working just fine. Belgian Nord XDG thingy. So -D was the tip. Calamares -D debugging. Why choose ButterFS? It's just here. Otherwise, it would be default ButterFS. That's it. The only difference would be that. I'm Eric. So this is the name thingy, right? You could name it Arco, and then it would get VirtualBox, I guess, or something. So now it's Eric and VirtualBox, or if I would use my last name, Dubois, it would use Dubois / minus VirtualBox. You change this anyway. We all change that. Except maybe in VirtualBox. Who cares? The toggle log is there now. Interesting. So people of this is there also on our request, so that we see that things are moving along. These numbers and these percentages can get a weight. So if there's lots to install, you can say that this is has a certain weight, and then the slider adjusts to that number. So the ArcoLinux ISOs and ArcoLinux D, for example, is very different. The D is very small. The most minimal version there is, which is this very, I don't know, 1.3 gigabyte, I don't know. But the others are 2 gigabyte or 2.6 and so on. So because of the 1 gigabyte difference, you can adjust the slider to the weight that the ISO has. Well, you study up, it's all in the README, right? In the configurations. That's where we play with the settings and see if we like that better. So we just jump from here to here, we see, and that's the weight. How long should it show a certain module? Shell process's job. You know what it is, right? It's our, the GNU PG thingy, GPG stuff. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here, pacman populate, that's one thing. Okay, done. We can't ask the log except if we check in the var log, we have a Calamares log. Yeah, let's check that now. We got that last time. Grub is there, everything boots up. No auto login. Well, the file system var log, Calamares log, Calamares JSON. So you can ask your user, please provide me this. And then you can see what's going on, maybe some mistakes or conflicts or whatever. That will show that. Sudo pacman. Let's do what normal users might do. Okay, so that's normal. Why? Warning, database file is not there. Yes. First databases, then browser. So everything seems to work. Sudo systemctl status pacman. PPP, lots of P's, but not pacman. So it will not be launched. Systemctl. Down, down, down. So page down, page up. You can go over here as well. What it is, there's another one which I don't use that much. Was it systemd analyze sudo? No, that's not the one I want, I guess. Boot up is not yet finished. I'm too fast. Oh, 3 hours. Did we forget anything? We have a new Calamares, new configuration. We have pacman not working. The only thing I was thinking, I'm not gonna do it. That's maybe we could install the ArcoLinux WHAT, right? It's another video. 3 hours and 5 minutes. No. We've done it all. We've cleared it all. It's now just up to you to make this XFC thing nicer. Oh yeah, let's have a look. GitHub, all is on GitHub, guys. You can see all the new code online already. And let's delete some stuff. This can go. That can go. Simple screen recorder we keep. Share, what's that? User share, okay. And this one. So, on ALCI, I have a little script that says, build them all. So remove everything that we've already have, find these directories, and build them, and go back. Does not sound too difficult, right? But it's comfortable, it's super nice, it's boom and bye. Go eat. What is the one I have put first? Which one is first? Hardened out first. Always change the sequence. So here we see that the configurations from hardened come in, but we know already that the GitHub is ready. We have the headers that come in, Broadcom, WL. I have, in the meantime, there is number 208, that's true. Not that it matters. Oh, what did we forget? I think we forgot something. Super F7. Not that it's important, it really isn't important. There's a little bug at the moment going on. Ah, we don't see it anymore. Control F, oops. Close. Power off. Yes. So it boots immediately with, and why is that? Because let's switch and then, oh, it's gone. Choose a disk file. I've deleted everything. Damn. No, the thing is that when you use your keyboard these days, the keys are not present. It has to do with a package that updated that you need to downgrade again, but that's for later. I mean, updates, you know, ArcoLinux updates, wait 3 days, it's solved. That's a given. Then you wait 3 days. All right, so there's nothing to show here. Nice wallpaper, that's for sure. So Alt F, it's now in my favorites folder. And from time to time, I'll go in there and say, ooh, that folder, that is nice. I have all my nice stuff in here. I want to save this wallpaper. And this one is the current one. And voila, you just copy paste them. Cut, copy, whatever you want. And put them on something. In this case, let's go to Browse Network. This is my ArcoLinux ISO builder. So another machine, Samba. Shared, yeah, sure. And I'll put it here, boom. And later I'll put it in the place where it's supposed to go. That probably can go. Well, yeah, I'll put my video in here as well later on. And I'll upload it via the ISO builder. It's a workflow thing. All right. think I've told everything. This is a long video, but it shows you that starting ISOs, making ISOs, and more importantly, maintaining ISOs is work. It's 3 hours and 10 minutes of work. With 7 ISOs, of course, not with 1. Enfin, right? So basically, don't get too many what ifs, because then you have to maintain them. Voila, bottom line. Cheers.